So you want to move to San Antonio, Texas? In this video, we're going to talk about the reality of living here.
We're going to talk about some really crazy things and some good things too. And we're going to get started on that
right now.
If this is your first time in our channel, welcome. Please remember to subscribe and tap the bell, and you'll be the first to receive notifications of the changing market in and around San Antonio.
We're a growing channel, guys, so we really appreciate those subscribes. Anyway, we are Brian and Brenda Jones, the proud owners of Lone Star Home Realty. We get calls from people just like you all the time. So whether you're moving in 3 days, 3 months, 9 months, doesn't matter. Give us a call. We're more than happy to help you.
All of our information is in the box below. You can call us, text us, email us, or you can sign up for a Zoom. Whatever's easiest for you.
Zoom is best.
We'll take care of it on our end. I already said my part.
So let's talk about reality of San Antonio.
Let's get started.
So guys, we're going to start off with something really kind of scary, but it also depends on how you look at things. So we're going to talk about snakes at the beginning.
A lot of people are super scared of snakes.
Yeah.
And if that's you, you have to know snakes are everywhere in Texas.
The majority of our snakes, though, majority of the snakes in Texas, types of snakes in San Antonio,
like not ours.
Texas. Yeah, not ours. We don't have snakes. However, there are
Although we
people,
have a neighbor who has, what kind of snake is it?
I think it's
Python, right?
I think it's a python.
I think it's a python, and she walks around the neighborhood if the temperature's right, and she has this big old snake
draped around her neck.
wrapped around her neck. It is good.
No.
Anyway, that's not us. That's our neighbor.
Anyway, the majority of
Comment
snakes,
below if you would like to see that. Okay, back to snakes.
the majority of the snakes in Texas are non-venomous. Doesn't mean they're not going to bite you. It just means they're not going to kill
They're
you.
not going to kill you when they do. We have the Texas rat snake, which is everywhere around here.
And don't confuse the Texas rat snake with the Texas rattlesnake.
Yeah, two different things.
Two completely different things.
The rat snakes actually eat the rats.
Yes.
You don't want the rats and the mice around your house.
And another one that looks similar is a garter snake. A lot of people also garden snakes.
Yeah, those are cool though. You just see them kind of in
Yeah.
your grass or in your flower beds or whatever.
They're beneficial.
They're very harmless to us. They are in, like I said, gardens or near water supplies. But those are really cool. I actually kind of like to see those.
Another one is a bull snake. They're actually one of the largest snakes in Texas. And they get confused with a rattlesnake, but they're not. They don't have rattles.
No, you will know a rattlesnake when you see one.
Yeah, it will tell you it's a rattlesnake.
So the most dangerous ones that we do have is the rattlesnake, which is officially the western diamondback rattlesnake.
Yeah. And it will hurt you.
It will hurt you.
And if you don't get to the ER, urgent care, like really quick, it will kill you.
It will. It's a bad thing. The copperhead is probably as dangerous, if not worse, than the rattler. He's got a kind of a reddish brown color, blends in really good with the dried leaves and stuff. It's very common in wooded areas, and so if you're out wandering around in the woods, just be cautious of those.
And then another one is the cottonmouth. And the cottonmouth, you'll find a lot in the water.
I don't want to be close enough to have it open its mouth to say, oh yeah, the inside of your mouth looks like cotton.
No.
But they're generally around creeks and rivers and stuff. I remember growing up, we lived out in the country, and it was very common just to be really careful, and you would see them just kind of slithering along the water. So they're definitely out there, and they can hurt you too.
The last one we're going to talk about, because it's not a fun topic, is the coral snake. And the coral snake is recognized by the red and yellow and black bands.
So I grew up, my daddy always said, red and yellow kill a fella.
Yeah, and they will too.
Yeah, so the red has to touch the yellow. Some of them they're not touching, but red touches yellow. Now, they're very dangerous as far as venomous, but they're very shy though.
Well,
normally if you leave them alone, they're not going to mess with you. Yeah.
They're very shy, and they're not the best biters. Their fangs are really kind of loose, so they have to take real good aim before they get you.
Yeah.
That's usually because you're stepping on them.
Yeah.
So
run the other way.
if you give them a wide berth, they will take care of it. They will leave you alone. for the most part.
Where are snakes found in Texas?
They're found everywhere.
They're everywhere. Especially, guys, in like new construction areas where they're out and they're like tearing up the ground and moving all the trees and
they're
everything.
losing their habitat.
Yeah, they're especially rattlers are gonna come out. The rattlers love dry, hot. So the summertime they're out and about. And so how do you avoid them? I mean, there's different besides just keeping your eyes open and avoiding them.
Stay away from the tall grass and the rocks because they love that stuff.
Yeah.
Wear boots and pants if you're hiking.
And I know in Texas in the summertime it's hot, which we'll talk about in a minute, and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't want to wear jeans and boots if I'm going to be out hiking.
But you also don't want to die.
Yeah, it's very serious.
So
it's very, very serious.
You can get snake-proof boots.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real thing. You can get snake-proof boots. They're more expensive, but again,
if you're going to be out and about like that, then you're going to want to spend the money.
Yeah.
If you're going to be just kind of wandering around in parks and stuff, not quite.
Yeah, they're not going to kill you if you have snake-proof boots. Be cautious around water, especially lakes and rivers, and ponds. The water moccasins or the
we call them water moccasins.
Water snake.
Cottonmouth. They're called water moccasins.
They will put a world of hurt on you.
Yeah.
And they usually travel in bunches. So just imagine that. Yeah. Joy.
And don't reach in blindly into crevices or grab rocks. I mean, okay. We watch Survivor, and they show snakes on every single Survivor episode.
Don't be like the people on Survivor, reaching for idols.
Please don't.
That makes me cringe. If you're gonna do that on the show.
Where they've already cleared out those snakes.
Jeff Probst would love for you to be on the show. So if you want to fly, go ahead and do that. They'll teach you which crevices and holes to go into. You will hurt yourself.
When you're out and about, make sure you are listening. Keep your ears open because you will hear the rattle of the rattlesnake. I wish I had a rattle. I could rattle it for you. But they have a very distinct sound. If you hear something, be cautious. Walk away very slowly.
When you hear the rattle, you won't mistake it.
But don't run.
Don't run.
Don't run when you're don't run.
If you can tell,
it will strike.
If you can tell where it's coming from, hopefully you're not in a nest of them.
Oh God.
And that's all around you, then you've got serious issues. But anyway, if you can tell it's behind you, turn around and back away slowly.
Just walk away very, very slowly. Because it's feeling threatened is what it is.
That's why that's the whole rattle. So you're getting too close.
Yeah, so just make sure you walk away.
You're getting too close in my body space. So.
Don't get that close. And then in your home and your yard area, make sure you control the rodents. Make sure that
snakes will do that for you too.
Well, I know, but don't have food. I mean, they like rats and mice and stuff, so keep that clear. But just to let you know how prevalent this is on Nextdoor app that all the neighborhoods are kind of linked into, they're always posting a picture of a snake and asking, what kind of snake is this? Yeah, is it a good snake? Is it bad? And there's always somebody on there that says, oh, that's great, don't kill it. Or call, you can call the animal control people and they'll come out and get it. But generally speaking, they're fine and they're not going to hurt you. But if you have an ultimate fear of snakes, just know that they are here.
Red and yellow, kill a fella. Enough about snakes.
Yes, let's move on.
Let's move on to weather.
So, how many of y'all know Texas is hot? If you've been watching our channel, you've already heard that. It's hot, but then there's Texas hot.
Yes.
Like, it's hot and it's humid here, for the most part.
There are days when it's like uber hot, and it's usually in the winter. I mean, in the summer or fall, when it can get up in the 90s, but the humidity's way low, and so it's not too bad. But
no, that's not bad at all.
When it's in the 90s or the hundreds, or the humidities, or the 50s or the 60s or the 70s, stay inside.
Yeah. So just
find your air conditioning.
We very rarely get serious cold weather here.
It gets cold for a few days.
Yeah, but I mean, if we drop below freezing for more than 24, 48 hours, that's considered really cold here.
Snow is very rare.
Yeah, we rarely get snow. It does happen.
I will tell you, wearing t-shirts and shorts on Christmas Day is a real thing around here, because there is, to my knowledge, there has never been recorded snow on Christmas Day in San Antonio.
We don't have white Christmases here. I think they're all the rage in other places, but here you don't.
Yeah.
So just know that we do get rain. Every now and then we get flash flooding, especially when they have hurricanes and stuff down in the Gulf that come this way. We get the blessed rain, which is wonderful. But we're typically in droughts, 1 degree or another of a drought.
And the municipalities around here, a lot of them enforce water restrictions. So they have different stages of water restrictions. So at the beginning of
the past several years, San Antonio has lived in a stage of water restrictions. There's how many? 4 stages?
I think there's 4 stages. And then after the 4th stage, it says don't turn on your water.
Yeah. So it's been, in San Antonio, I think they've been in stage 1 for years now. So just know that we need rain. We love it when it rains. And I will tell you, the heat, if you're going through menopause, ladies, just be prepared, because hot
flashes,
humidity, and hot flashes all together, it's no fun.
It's not.
It's hot.
It's not for the guys either.
You just have to put up with us.
So moving on.
Rapid growth. San Antonio is growing. It's growing very rapidly.
It causes increased congestion and construction on all of the roads, in perpetual construction mode now. There used to be a time when they would expand a highway or install the flyovers over the intersections, and it would be done. And you have 6-9 months of nothing. But now we have been in constant road construction probably for the last year and a half. And
now over in the northeast section of San Antonio, they're building a second level of highway.
Yes.
That's going to be going on for miles and miles and miles. So that's going to take a long time.
San Antonio has achieved the ability of having almost every major road in this city under construction at some point at the same time.
It's crazy.
I don't know how they have the staff to do it with, but I mean, the craziness, they're double-decking IH-35, Interstate 35, from downtown San Antonio to outside of the county.
Yeah.
And they're not even halfway done. It's not going to be done until, I think, 2033.
Is it that long?
It's that long.
Oh, Lord.
So
it'll be great when it's done. Then they'll start a new part.
Grocery stores and schools have a real hard time keeping up with all the congestion and increased rate of growth.
People that are coming in, it's just, they can't keep up with it.
So speaking of growth, we've had an increase in bad and aggressive drivers.
Yeah.
And
a lot of road rage out there.
With all the population and growth that we're experiencing, construction, frustration has just hit an all-time high, and people get out on the road and they are done. They're just done.
But when you're on the highway, Brian does all the driving. I just give him directions in the passenger seat. But we're driving along. If somebody's on our bumper, a lot of people are tempted to break them, and don't do that. Just don't react. Just move over to the right-hand lane, let them pass and move on their merry way. We do have guns in Texas.
Yes.
And there's a lot of guns in the cars.
Yes. And trucks.
And people have been known to have road rage and someone gets shot and killed. So just know that is an issue down here, and people do carry guns in their cars. So
people typically in San Antonio, it's getting more and more common where people typically don't know what to do with a yield sign.
Or a four-way stop.
Or a four-way stop.
My Lord.
Who goes first on a four-way stop? Can somebody comment below and tell me what you're supposed to do in a four-way stop? I think it's pretty straightforward in every state. But what is it? What do you do at a four-way stop? What are you supposed to do?
Or when the lights are out and they're blinking on all sides. How do you handle that?
And drivers in San Antonio, especially the native-born San Antonians, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to drive in precipitation. It doesn't matter whether it's rain or snow or ice or a cloud cover. It doesn't matter.
Well, okay, that's true. But what you have to also remember is that we don't get a lot of rain.
That's right.
And so the oil and the dirt and all the junk on the road builds up, and then we just get the little slightest bit of mist or rain on the road, and it turns to ice. And we don't know how to drive on ice, so there you go. There's the problem. So just be aware, especially people who are moving down here from ice-covered states that are like, what do you mean you closed the whole city because the ice or it's threatening snow or it's threatening ice?
Yeah, it happens.
Because we don't know how to drive on it, and we don't have the equipment needed to prep the roads.
So talking about growth, it has led to urban sprawl. The small towns that used to be small towns that were on the edges of San Antonio now have been kind of overrun.
And I don't want to say they're getting swallowed up by San Antonio and Austin, but they're definitely crowding in upon them. So they're losing their small town feel and kind of the charm that gave them the feel of the small town.
The metro areas, San Antonio and Austin, are growing together. And so that also includes San Marcos, New Braunfels, Kyle, and Buda. Kyle and Buda are smaller, of course, but they're getting bigger too. There's a lot of new growth in all of those towns, and it's just making that I-35 corridor just a conduit for growth.
It used to be you would leave the outskirts of San Antonio and it would take forever to get to Schertz, and then it would take forever to get to New Braunfels. It would take forever to get to San Marcos. And now it's just like you blink and you're already past San Marcos. So it's definitely growing all together.
Yeah, the urban sprawl is definitely burgeoning due to the population boom of the last 15, 20 years. Now, one of the other kind of cool things, it's good and the bad, is San Antonio is centrally located in the state. It's kind of south central. So if you need to leave the state by vehicle, don't be in a hurry.
Just know you're going to be driving.
At best, it will take you 4 to 5 hours to get to Louisiana. If you want to head north, it will take you about 6 to 7 hours to get to Oklahoma. If you want to see the Gulf of Mexico, Port Aransas is about 3 hours away. South Padre is about 5 to 6 hours away. If you're going on a cruise, Port of Galveston, it's about 4 hours away. If you're headed west, going to El Paso, hopefully you're going past El Paso, and El Paso is not your destination. But that's going to take you 7 to 8 hours to get to El Paso. If you'd like to leave the country by car, though, getting to Laredo is about 3 hours away, which is about the same distance going to the Texas coast.
So all that being said, you people who live up in the Northeast, and you can just go from state to state to state in like
an hour and a half.
Yeah, between all of that, that is not Texas.
It doesn't happen here.
It doesn't happen here. I know when we go on road trips and we're actually driving out of the state, the hardest part is getting out of Texas. So just be aware that you're like in Texas, and Texas is huge and it's open. So here you go.
So let's talk about a sometimes difficult topic. Texas is, for the most part, a very welcoming and accepting state. I would say very welcoming and accepting state.
Yeah, very proud to be Texan, especially the native ones like ourselves. We're very proud of it, and we're proud of our state. The
Texas motto is friendship. In fact, Texas comes from an Indian word that means friendship.
Now, we have some racial issues. I'm not saying that there is no racial issues in Texas.
Racism in Texas?
There is racism.
There is racism in Texas.
It's everywhere.
Said by white people.
But we don't have the major issues that other,
it's not as
especially
explosive
larger cities
or prevalent.
have. And we don't have the riots. And you know, a lot of major cities that have major teams like basketball, but when their team wins a championship or whatever,
when the Spurs,
oh my God, they like riot and go in and steal stuff, and it's just crazy. And when the Spurs won the last time the NBA championship,
just a few years back.
Yeah, there was nothing like that. In fact, it was amazing. As soon as that game was over and they won it, and the newscast was showing downtown, you could just see lines and lines of cars that were heading downtown.
There were actually times on the overpasses in downtown where the traffic was literally stopped.
They just stopped.
They weren't going anywhere. People were getting out of their cars,
honking horns and
Don't
yelling.
Don't do that.
But I mean, it was fun.
It was
you
fun.
Could do that. There wasn't anything going on. Everybody was there for the same reason. No traffic was.
But there weren't any cars being turned over, started on fire. There weren't any stores getting looted or anything like that.
No, not anything like that. So everybody's going to have some racism, but it's not anything like that.
Everybody just simply partied hard.
That's true. We know how to party in San Antonio.
Yeah, and of the three major, or actually the four major municipalities in Texas, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston, San Antonio is probably the least racial. I mean, we all try to get along as best we can with everybody that there is to get along with.
San Antonio is very friendly and very welcoming,
yes,
for the most part.
And I guarantee you there's going to be people who disagree with me. They're going to comment below and say, that's easy to say for rich white people. Well, maybe not rich, but white people. Well, and that may be true.
And there are, we have friends of different races, and then they've commented different little areas or smaller towns, they've run into problems with it. But for the most part, it's not anything like other major cities.
I am actually a half-breed. My mother was Mexican. My father was Alabama white. But I kind of get along with myself. Anyway, there you have it, guys. We've been running a little bit long today, but we wanted to give you the realities of San Antonio living. And so if you have comments, please comment below and let us know what you thought about the video. And let us know if there's something else you want us to do a video on. We're more than happy to check it out.
Make sure you subscribe and tap the bell so you can get notifications.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
See ya.